honest, we're getting ready for the next game. Obviously, the next game is Pitt. Always a great defensive team, significantly potent offensive team this year. I think both teams are playing very well. I know they had a tough loss last night to Purdue. Got done watching some tape on them. It's going to be a challenge to score on them with their size and their length. We're going to get ready to go practice today and really just focus on ourselves more than anything. Tomorrow we'll probably get to the meat and potatoes on what we're doing in preparation. They're an older team. They're a more experienced team in regards to seniors and juniors and guys that maybe haven't played at Pitt but have experience in playing. Obviously, they play so hard and so aggressively, and they're always one of the best defensive teams around. Jamie does such a great job with that. So it's going to be a challenge. Hopefully, it'll be a really good, exciting game for everybody in the community, everybody in the city, and more importantly for the both schools. And we're looking forward to it. I think it's a game that last year we were down 6 with about 6 minutes to go. We couldn't get over the hump. So hopefully we can defend as well as we've been defending. Actually, I think we need to defend even better. And it's going to come down to the defending and rebounding. If we can defend and rebound with these guys, then we'll give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Are you guys as well equipped to hang with them as you've been since you've been here, do you think?
I think so. I mean, just because in general this is the best team we've had, right. The maturity. We had an opportunity to win a game last year too, and they made more plays than we did. But they're really two different teams going into this game. Like, we're a completely different team than we were last year, and I think they're a completely different team than they were last year. So I think it still comes down to the game being played with, who the teams are right now.
Mike has sort of mentioned it, that you guys had a lot of close games in conference play last year and struggled sort of closing them out. And it seems to be in the couple of close games that you had this year, you guys have been able to sort of find that winning different ways, whether it's you got to get stops or you find a way to score. I mean, you get the sense you guys are more comfortable in those sort of tight situations.
I think we're more mature. I think we've been through more of them. Last year we had some tough games in league play. We won them. We were able to really compete against higher-level teams. We won those games. I thought we had 2 challenging games that presented ups and downs in Florida against good teams, which helped us. And even the Penn State game, it wasn't like we just came out and blew their doors off. It was a very close game the whole first half, and I thought we just made plays defensively. So, again, it's going to – I keep saying, I think, what is this going to be, our 7th game? And it's going to be their 5th, 6th or something? Like, it's so early. So I think it's early season basketball, and there's going to be different adversity thrown out to each team tomorrow night, and we're going to see who deals with it the best.
Jim, they still have, you said Pitt's different. They still have their 3 leading scorers from last year back with Young, Artis, and Robinson. How do they look different to you this year?
Well, I just think they're playing at a higher pace offensively. I mean, you see the games they play, they're really scoring at a high rate. They're really shooting 3-pointers at a high rate and making them at a high rate, which is always scary. I think they have older guys that are coming off the bench from now, albeit they weren't on a team last year, but they're transfers, guys that have played at the college level. So I just think they're a little bit deeper than they were last year. I know last year they had a couple injuries and a suspension, which at this time of the season they didn't have as much depth, and they have more depth right now.
How much do you pay attention? Do you pay attention to every game they play? But when you watch them play against a team like Purdue, Purdue's different than you guys.
Significantly.
Are there some opponents that they've had, in other words, that you might pay particular attention to how they played against?
I watch in every preparation. It's going to be the same. However I prepare for an opponent, I keep the same. And it's I watch probably 3 of their games, and then I'll watch our game from last year. That Purdue game last night's not going to help me that much because we don't have monsters like they do up front. But I did notice, they went to the 2-3 zone and made some adjustments out of it last night, which I thought they did a very good job of, got them back in the game. So you just, you pick up on tendencies, you look at strengths and weaknesses, and you look at what we do, how certain things that we do can affect them, and that's really how you break the stuff down.
You've talked about pace some, Jim. Obviously you guys are a team that likes to push the tempo as fast as possible. Pitt's a little bit slower, kind of like the Penn State game, in some ways where there's this dueling, sort of contrast of styles and speed. I guess how much of a factor and how important will pace be?
Well, have you seen Pitt play much this year?
Yeah.
Okay, good. They're playing at a pretty high tempo themselves right now. It's not. I don't think they're playing really fast in conversion. They're really sharing the ball. They're averaging like 23 assists a game. They're shooting the three more aggressively. They're playing a little bit faster than maybe they have in the past. So I don't know if it's going to be as drastic as the Penn State. I know the point you're getting at. I don't think it's going to be as drastic. I think this is going to be an up and down game. There's going to be a pretty good tempo to this basketball game. Obviously, it's what we do, so we're not planning on changing it. But I think they're pretty good at it as well.
Sorry. How much big picture thought do you give to this game in relation to how long it's been since Duquesne has beaten Pitt, or what type of statement game this could be for your guys, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been a long time, but I really don't know how long it's been. I've only been here for 3 years, so it's only been 3 years for me. It's about the game. It really is. It's, I think it's great tradition. I think all the fans and the alumni and everybody looking back at it and getting that rivalry stirred up, I think it's awesome. I hope this rivalry never goes away. But we're really just focusing on the game right now. If we were to win this game, it'd be a great win for our program because it hasn't been done in a while. But the game's got to be played, and that's really what we're focusing on. Like, we're not going to get overhyped. We're not going to get, down either. We're approaching it. It's the next game on the schedule. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? It really doesn't matter what's happened in the past for these guys that are playing in this game right now. For both teams, it really doesn't matter. It's not like an NBA team where the team's always the same. They're all different. So our focus is trying to figure out how to beat this team, how to win this game, which is the same focus for every game. And obviously, yes, it'll be significantly more excitement because it's a city game and the place will be packed, and I think it's a great rivalry. But really, the main focus as a coach and for the players is to really focus on the game. What's it going to take to win this basketball game?
Jim, talked to Jamie recently, a couple weeks ago, and of course we're asking about the 30-second clock, the loss of the timeout. He said the biggest difference that his guys have had to adjust to is the foul interpretation. And Derek said the same thing earlier today.
Yeah.
Have you found that to be the same thing? And if so, how have your players done adjusting to that?
I agree with Jamie 100%. It's been hard to adjust to because it's been really inconsistent from game to game. And it's not the officials' fault. They're still trying to figure it out as well. We had 3 games here. We didn't foul as much. We went down to Florida and we gave up 2 games. We gave up like 38 free throws in the game. And then last night, I think we fouled like 8 times. And there were things that I thought last week that were being called fouls that last night weren't being called fouls. So I think it's something that we all have to adjust to. Coaches have to adjust to it. The players have to adjust to it. And, again, involved with early season basketball, hopefully within the next week or so, we all really figure it out. I'm talking everybody involved with the college game, the officials, the coaches, the players. But it's been an adjustment. What's a foul, what's not a foul, what's freedom of movement, what's not freedom of movement. And that's the stuff that kids just got to deal with. But you can see it all across the country. I think even Tom Izzo had a big statement about it, during the week. Like, it's just been difficult. But whenever rules have changed, whenever emphasis has changed, I think all of us in the game have done a really good job of adjusting, coaches, players, and officials.
So would you be interested, you mentioned how early in the season it is for both you guys. Would you prefer it playing a little later in December, or are you sort of fine with where this sort of fits into the season?
I mean, I would like to play them a little bit later, but what a lot of people out there in the fans and regular people, I guess we'll call it, they don't understand how difficult scheduling really is. So we're fortunate enough to find a date that works for both of us. We got to jump on it.
You could have said media.
Media?
I know you wanted
I don't want to. What is that? Who
Jamie would.
didn't KD just put all you guys in the media in one bunch? No, but I'm meaning everybody. Like, really, the media probably understands it more than anybody else. Scheduling is next to recruiting. It's the most difficult thing in this business. So we really have to find a date that really works for us, really works for CONSOL, because they do a great job of being able to host it for us. So it's difficult. I think we'd all probably like to play it a little bit better, a little bit later, because then it gives yourself time to develop as a team. But it is scheduled here. We're going to play it.
That being, oh, go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just going to, you mentioned CONSOL. You guys like the game there?
Yeah, I think that's where this game's got to be played. Absolutely. I just think it's great for the community. I think it's great for everybody involved. I think it's a big-time game for Pittsburgh. I think it really highlights basketball in Pittsburgh. It's such a football town, and people really get to see that there's really good basketball here, too. So I think it's great that the event's held at CONSOL, yes. Unless they want to play it at Duquesne every year, I'll do that. We'll play at Palumbo every year. I'm good.
I guess because they do have veteran, they have a lot of grad transfers that they're trying to mix in. They have some new guys they're trying to mix in, guys in new roles. And your core guys have been maybe a little bit together a little bit longer. Does that give you maybe a little bit? I mean, I would say
I don't
in
know.
theory, I guess.
In theory, we're going to find out tomorrow, Friday night, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the guys they have, like, I'm very familiar with Nelson Adodo because he played at Richmond. He was a fantastic player at Richmond. He's going to be a fantastic player there. So I really don't know. I mean, I like my group. I'm really excited about this group. I love my seniors and the senior leadership they're giving us. I'm really comfortable with the pieces that we put together, and Jamie seems comfortable with the pieces that he has. So I don't know. It's going to play out Friday night. We'll see.
Is this as close to when you took the job and you envisioned what this program was going to look like? I mean, now that you're entering year 4 or whatever, do you sort of see the fruit of that hard work and the sort of those tough early days starting to pay off? Do you
Yes.
see, and what are those signs that you see that things are?
Well, I think maturity. I think we're starting to play like my teams play. I think we're playing more aggressively. We're defending better. We're playing at a really high tempo and pace. Like I said, it takes time. You know, when you're going to build a program the right way and you're coming in with mostly high school kids, you have to develop, you know, this is the first year that we have more older guys than younger guys. So they're able to explain and hand down what's okay and what's not okay. They understand the vocabulary. This is the first year that we didn't have to reintroduce every single drill. So we're significantly further ahead. So now, that's what I said earlier, like now it's kind of like you can start to look at our program and now and say, okay, I see what the plan is. I see where it's trying to get to. And I think we're at that stage right now. Now the goal is to build the program from this point forward. We've stabilized it. We've got the pieces in here that we feel that fit. And now we're kind of doing what we're doing and establishing what the program is really going to be. So hopefully you can move forward from now. But I think people that have covered the team over the past couple of years have seen a significant difference from this year's team compared to the other teams. And a lot of it is the experience of being in the program for a while together.
When you guys come into a season and you kind of keep track of certain goals and certain things you maybe want to try to accomplish, you know, does beating Pitt, does playing them competitively, does that really register on there much, or just because it is a non-conference game, is it something that maybe isn't quite near the top or at the top?
We don't really talk about it until we play them. I'll be honest with you. So so we'll talk about it now for 2 days. That's the focus now. The focus is trying to beat Pitt, just like the focus 2 days ago was trying to beat Mississippi Valley State. You know what I mean? So I don't think we come into the season saying, you know, one of our goals to be. No, our goal is to get to the NCAA tournament. Our goal is to win the Atlantic 10 championship. That's our goal. And the daily goal is to get better every day. Now that it's time for us to play Pitt, our focus is trying to beat Pitt.
Do you notice the buzz surrounding this game being any different this year than years past?
Not really. But I'll be quite honest with you. You know, last night we had a game. Got up early. I broke down that game and worked on our stuff. Started focusing on Pitt probably around 10:30 this morning. And, I mean, a little bit more buzz because I'm doing this now. I didn't do this before the Mississippi Valley game or the Penn State game. So, and I got to get on radio later tonight. So I guess there's the excitement. I really haven't read the papers, no offense, guys. I don't read much of them. So I don't really know. I'd anticipate there is. I hope there is. I think we have 2 really good teams playing. You know, I think both teams only have 1 loss. I think both teams are playing pretty good basketball. So I'm hoping there's a buzz. I'm hoping there's an excitement for everybody. You know, I know there's more of excitement in our student body because it's the Pitt game, but hopefully within the community there's an excitement too.
Jim, typically, and maybe this is an oversimplification, but Pitt has just had better big guys. Do you feel, how's your front court matchup this year?
I think we have more depth than we've ever had before. You know, listen, they were in the Big East and in the ACC. A lot of times those schools get better players than players that we get. But, you know, it was also development involved and the whole deal. Now, if you're talking about their front court, they're not as big as they've been in the past. They're not playing that monster up front. I think they're playing more, you know, 6'7", 6'8", versatile forwards. But I think we have depth this year, which we've never had when we came into this basketball game. Depth that has some experience. So we're going to have that play out for us to compete. Because again, it's always a rebound war against those guys. And last year, I thought they really crushed us early in the game on the glass, and that really affected it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.